Hey everybody, welcome back to Comic Frontline. I am Brant Fowler, aka the Gonzo Goose, here with a TV review of The Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 15. Mike Spiderslayer, who usually does The Walking Dead reviews, has decided to start doing them on his own YouTube channel. So I decided, I watch the show every week when it's airing, and I love the show, so why not pick up where he left off and talk about the penultimate episode of Season 5. Only one more to go, the 90-minute season finale next week. But this was Season 5, Episode 15. Lots of things happen here. It was very interesting to see what happened when things started to break down in the community. Rick approached Deanna about Pete's behavior, how he knows he's beating his wife and how his child's fearing for his life, and finds out that the community knew about this and knew it was going on and did nothing. So Rick's like, I have to put him down. I've got to end this. This is the world we live in. But there was a lot of opposition for that take on it, and everybody's trying to talk to Rick and say this is not the way things are. But Carol, she knows what kind of guy this is, and what are you going to do? Put him in jail? There's no jail. What are you going to do? Exile him? Okay, that's fine, but he could come back with an army of other people and attack the place. It's logical thinking that Rick's doing here, but it's also a very uncivilized thinking. It's the new world as opposed to the old world, which they are trying to build and bring back. So he's meeting a lot of opposition here. He decides to finally take matters into his own hand because he does have a thing for Jesse, and Pete's not going to have any of it. And they get into a knockdown, drag out fight. Rick pulls a gun. Spoiler alert. At the end of the episode, Michonne comes up from behind Rick and just knocks him out. And that's how the episode ends. Because earlier on in the episode, Michonne had gone out to find... her name is totally escaping. Sasha. Thank you. Sasha, and finds out that she's been hunting walkers, and she sees a lot of herself in Sasha and sees how far she's come. And I think she realizes that this is a community, this is the stepping stones in this new community to bring back civilization and bring back the life that she once had, and she wants to protect that and embrace it, where Rick is kind of embracing what the new world is and not really seeing beyond that anymore, because that's the reality of things, and that's what they've been faced with, stuff like the governor and everything. And all through this, we know that something is coming because we see these W's, kind of tattooed or marked on these walkers. So we know what's coming, or we know something big is coming, and maybe it'll start in next episode leading into season 6. But Rick sees this. He sees the dangers, the threats are still there, and he feels like everybody else in the community is just trying to block all that out, and they're getting into a place of complacency, and he's scared to death of that, but he's handling it the wrong way. He's like a madman, which I think they did a little bit more over the top than it was done in the comic. It's been a while since I read that particular storyline, but I think in the comic he was still out there, and he still had to be reined in a bit, and he still fought opposition, but in the long run it turned out he was more or less right. But this one, he was like crazy, mad eyes, gone bonkers, and they kind of took that stance. But they'll find that there is some truth in the way that he's approaching things as well, I feel. But for right now, everybody is kind of against that mentality except for Carol, and so we're just going to have to see what happens in this 90-minute season finale. But it was kind of a build-up to that, and it was trying to show us throughout this episode where everybody is. And then there's this whole controversy with what happened with Noah and Deanna's son out there. She's getting two different stories, one from Glenn and one from that guy that was actually at fault. And now we find out that he's the one that stashed the gun in the coffee can, or stole the gun in the coffee can. So lots of interesting things building up here, and we don't know where it's headed. But it seems to be leading into an explosive season finale, and I, for one, can't wait. I think they hit all the right notes for this particular episode. I think Rick was a little bit too crazy. He should have been portrayed as just a bit more sane, in my personal opinion. But I love that they went there, that, okay, him and Jesse do have feelings for each other, and she wants to be safe. And it came out, that, they have been keeping this secret. They've been protecting this guy who's basically beating his wife and making his child hide in a closet with a bolt, which... honestly, putting myself out there a little bit. I understand that because I kind of went through that as a child. And it's very interesting. So I appreciate that they are exploring that in this new world, and the fact that they're kind of protecting this guy because he's the doctor. It's very interesting where this is all going. But yeah, explosive lead up as we see Michonne basically turn on Rick. And now we got this 90-minute season finale coming up next week that's going to wrap everything up and head us into the next season. Lots of exciting things happening in Walking Dead land. We know the spinoff is coming as well. So for me personally, this was like a 4.5 out of 5 episode. It was definitely picked up from the last couple, which were a little bit slower paced to lead into this. But this one really picked up and got all these different notes hit that we needed to going into the season finale. So 4.5 out of 5 for Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 15. And now, join me next week for the season finale as we talk about that and see what all goes down. I can't wait. I know you can't wait either. So that's going to wrap it up for this review. Check out all the other content here on Comic Frontline. Tune into Comic Frontline Live, episode number 51. It is going to be an e-panel, an interview with Meredith and David Finch, talking Wonder Woman, Little Mermaid, and much more. So definitely tune in for that. If you missed the video, you can catch it on iTunes later in the week. As we debuted last week with episode 50, and lots of great content coming to the channel, so check it out. Check out comicfrontline.com, comicrelated.com for more comic news, reviews, podcasts, and so much more. And until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.